can you bring them in, please? You know, people like all this baggage around. It's like an excuse, you know. Oh, the dog. We have the dogs. We get the dog. Take the love that you give to the dogs and give it to something that's going to matter, like a business, like children. Enough with the fucking animals. Don't edit this part out. Enough with the fucking animals, folks. It's sick. It's really sick. It's like instead of going to a doctor and figuring out why you're so fucked up in the head, you just hug this warm ball of fur. Enough with this, folks. Get a clue. Get a handle on your fucking life. Okay? Enough. These animals don't even want to fucking live with you, half of them. Half of them are bred. They're Dr. Moreau animals that they crossbreed, and they make these little freak things that don't even know why they're alive. They can barely breathe, half these things, and they just sit on a pillow with you and watch you order Postmates. It's not what they want. They don't even know why they're on the fucking planet, you know? And it's every loser has 9 dogs and can't do anything because of the dogs. That's every loser's story. My dog needs me. I can't go and do anything in the world. My doggy needs me. Your dog doesn't even want to be near you. Your dog doesn't even know why it's living in your basement. So get rid of the fucking animals until you have an actual life where you can bring other living things into your life and take care of them. Okay? It's a disgusting fetish that I'm sick of. I'm truly sick of these dirty people with their filthy homes and the disgusting dogs. My friend just got a dog. He's like, it's so nice to have a dog. I'm not drinking, going out, doing blow because I have a dog now. What? You stop doing drugs because you got a dog? Well, then there's a problem. Fix the problem. I'm sure the dog loves that. Being the only thing that stands between you and a Coke binge. It's really... So what I was saying about the conspiracy stuff is that it gets a lot tougher when there's egos involved. All of these guys have egos. Everybody who's written a book has an ego. Everybody who's been part of a documentary has an ego. Everybody wants to own their turf. They want to own the story. They want it to be done a certain way. Then they get financial backers to make these things into movies or bigger documentaries. And then those people want exclusivity. And it's a whole thing. So it's actually a lot tougher than you would imagine. You know, the smiley face killers, for example. This is just an example. And I want to tell you people this because many, not all of my fans, but some of my fans are literal. They're brain dead. Like they don't have blood or oxygen running to their brain. And they're somehow alive. It's a medical miracle. It's a literal medical miracle. Some of the people that messaged me. I wanted to do a follow-up on the Smiley Face Killers episode. If you don't recall that, it's a really interesting one. Join the Patreon. Check it out. Smiley Face Killers was supposedly this gang of serial killers traveling around the country, or they have cells in different cities, and they're killing young, good-looking, college-educated males and throwing them in a river. This is what was alleged. There was a show on it that Oxygen Network did. It was a bad show. It diminished the credibility of what I tried to do pretty severely, to be honest, because it was shot like a reality show. But again, it's just, you know, everybody's got their hand out and these people just want, yeah, we're going to put you on TV. That's totally fine. I understand that. I totally get it. I know that TV has an allure, new media, whatever. I had a guy that felt like that claimed to be a victim, a potential victim of this mother. I found him credible. I believed him. It was completely happenstance that I ran into him in Wisconsin, which is a hotbed of this activity. His story checked out, and it was very interesting. And I had him on the show. It was one of our most successful episodes. So I email these 3 goofballs that have been touting this theory for 20 years. Okay. One of them is this guy. I forget his name. He's been accused of sexual assault. There's another one. I think he went and to some college campus and he was like, hey, you know anything about this smiley face killer? Why don't you put your smiley face on my cock? And he took his dick out. There's this guy, Kevin Gannon, right? Is that his name? Kevin Gannon? Yeah, he likes to take his cock out in the middle of the investigation. Okay? So that goofball. And then this other guy, Lee Gilbertson, who's just some professor at St. Cloud U. By the way, these three losers are probably killing these kids to get a show on Oxygen Network. And then some other Italian goon from Long Island or Jersey or my neck of the woods, who's I'm sure is a nice guy. You know, a cop used to listen to the show, my friend Michelle, and she said these were like nice guys, but they were kind of whatever, like, they were just, she's like, yeah, they're real New York guys. Everybody's got a million stories and, what's true and what's not. And they got a million ideas and opinions, but, they're probably not the most careful people that have ever lived. And now, by the way, I totally believe something's wrong with the smiley face killer. Like, I believe something's going on with the drownings and stuff. I believe that there's certainly something that's going on, 100%. A lot of these make no sense. It's in the dead of winter. These kids end up 2 miles from the bar, the party that they were in. And people are like, well, when people are drunk, they like to be by the water. It's like, yeah, in July, not in February. Nobody is walking 2 miles in February by the icy river to get home. I mean, it's just not rational, right? So I don't discredit this theory, but the people that came up with it, these are, people who they don't read the most credible. Okay. They do this reality show on Oxygen, which I get it. They want to get they want to get their story out there to overweight housewives, so they could talk about it while they at Weight Watchers meetings. I saw something on Oxygen about young boys getting killed. How many points does a bathtub of lasagna have? How many points is that? A tub of lasagna. Like a bathtub portion. So I emailed Lee Gilbertson, this one of these guys who helped originate this theory, who works at like St. Cloud, Minnesota, whatever. I email him. I go, hi, my name is Tim Dillon. I'm a comedian. I did a hugely popular episode on the show. I'd reached out to you before. You had told me that you were waiting to see what Oxygen Network was going to do. And if they were going to renew you. And then, obviously there's, they might have a say in what press you do. But I was following up with you because I didn't see you on the schedule for next season of Oxygen, which they're probably not, because you can't beat this thing forever. These people have been doing it for 20 years. They've been dragging these parents along for 20 years. And there's been no convictions, no nothing, no arrests. They've got a few cases reclassified as homicides, or maybe one case, which I think is good. So I'll read you this guy's email back to me because I just want to show you this is the reality of what you're dealing with here. I'll read it back to you guys right now, word for word. I'll read you my email and then his email, and you can see, where it is. I was like, hey, just circling back with you, Lee. My podcast episode on the Smiley Face Killers was very well received. We got somewhere between 150 and 200,000 downloads on the episode. I had reached out earlier about a potential interview. I know that you guys were waiting to hear back from Oxygen. Just circling back to see if you have any more information about potentially another season and if you would be available to do an episode of the show. Okay? He comes back to me. He goes, Tim, thank you for the invite and offer to present the story of the young men to a border audience, not broader, border audience. Again, I'm not gonna shit on him for fucking typos, but sometimes a typo will just give you a little bit of an idea. We have discussed this amongst our team. The team. Given the gravity of this topic, a comedy venue / genre does not seem appropriate. Were you to have another outlet, then we could perhaps accommodate your request. Again, thanks for extending the opportunity. Again, so I've not responded. I think I'm going to respond and go, hey, we cover a lot of serious topics on the show. We handle them responsibly. I've had ex-CIA agents on the show. I've had best-selling authors on the show. And I've had people that have said that the interviews that me and Ray did, with them were better than interviews that were done with them at ABC or CBS or NBC. Mark Eliade said that, he wrote the book The Vori, the inside story of the Russian mafia. He was like, these two comedians did a great job interviewing me. I don't think that'll change his opinion, by the way, of whether he wants to come on. I'll fill him in on those indisputable facts. I don't think that'll change his opinion, because these people are waiting for, I'm telling you, they're all waiting for the movie deal. I'm telling you. They're all waiting for the next season of the TV show. So don't come to me and go, you don't do conspiracies because you're selling that. Listen, buddy, there's layers to this shit that you fucking don't know about because you're sitting on your couch fucking and you have no clue and you don't know any of these people. You don't talk to any of them. These people all want a payday. It's completely rational. I'm not hating on them. Why would they do this if there was no benefit? Okay, there needs to be some benefit. Do they also want to help people and get justice? Yeah, sure. Of course they do. They wouldn't have spent years on this without that being a thing. But they also want this to be seen by the broadest audience possible. So they're not necessarily convinced that I can deliver that to them. Or they're not convinced that they don't want to muck up their ability to down the line get a bigger deal somewhere from some outlet that is going to provide them with one. So that is a problem that you run into often with a lot of these people. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Especially when there's something salacious. Smiley Face Killers could be a great fucking movie. I'd go see it. You know? That's the problem here. You know, like Edward Snowden's on Rogan. Poor guy's living in Moscow. He's on the run. What would I have done if I was Edward Snowden? I probably would have just went to Chili's, to be honest. Because I don't truly have faith in the people of the country. They don't care that they're being surveilled. We've talked about it before. I've talked to people that are like, so what am I doing? I don't care that they're watching me. You can watch me eat pizzas, order food. Who cares? Call my ex-girlfriend a whore? They don't understand that having everything you've ever said or done being stored in a bank, waiting to be weaponized against you by a tyrannical government's not the thing. They don't get it. Good for you, Ed Snowden. Some people probably get it. Hopefully it changes history. It's certainly you're a historical figure. And you got a lot more faith in these fuckers than I do. I would have went to Chili's. I would have brought 5 of my friends to a Chili's from Long Island and sat them down and explained everything that I had found. And I would have looked at them and I would have explained, I'm like, guys, everything, guys, I would have sat them down. I would look at my friend Ryan and I said, Ryan, every single thing you've ever typed into a Google search bar, everything you've said on a phone, everything you've texted to somebody, everything you've looked up, it's all being saved in a database and the government gets to just do whatever they want with it. I would tell all my friends, you know, and you know what their response would be? They'd be like, yo, I ordered the burger medium rare. It's not rare. It's like brown. It's like a fucking piece of meat on the fucking floor. I paid money for this. What the fuck? Yo, these egg rolls are good. The Southwestern egg rolls. And then I would have said to myself, wow, so if I go forward with this information, I'm going to be put in jail and I'll have to probably live in Moscow. I just would have silently ate the egg roll, looked at all my friends, went home and went to bed and went, you know what? What are we saving? What are we really, truly saving? You know, if you need, go get a potato and put a Marlboro Light in its mouth and watch that and then press play on your phone.